What is up, people? Back. It's been a while. Been a little busy doing stuff. Me and Queen Fishy have been working on some big updates for Fishton. About to release the Christmas update anytime, and we're pretty excited about that. But we've been super busy. A couple other things we've been busy with, but I won't mention that. But today, I figured I'd pop in. I'm gonna make some quick cash registers and. Hopefully it's going to help you on whatever you're trying to make on your game. So, ready to follow along. If you are using Unreal, you probably want to size things. If you are not using Unreal, you can skip the step, feel free. Something I usually do just to make things easier for Queen Fish. We work together, try to make each other's work as easy as possible, right? Sorry, this should be, I must have my numlock off, 0.01. There we go. And we'll do this one, 0.01. Then we should be all sized up and ready to go, basically. Now, I don't have a plan like always. I just kind of come in and we kind of go and find something that works and looks good. But maybe we'll make a couple different types. We'll make a modern type, and then we'll make a old-timey cash register. And hopefully whatever you're making, it helps you somewhat figure out how you're going to make yours. Let's just start. We'll make the modern one first. It's a cash drawer, basically, right? So, to start off, we will Shift D. We'll copy this, and we will hit S. Shrink it down a little bit, and then we're just going to move it forward a little bit, giving us a drawer effect. We are going to Shift D it, because we need two of them, because we're going to remove this shape from that. And so, sorry, I'll explain what I did. I clicked the first one, I shift click the second one, and then we go up to Objective, Bool Tool, Difference. You can't see the hole because there's a piece in the way, but I assure you there is a hole there. There you go. Alright, something like that, and that'll be our cash drawer that opens and shuts. So, gonna need a few more things, so let's copy that shape first before we do anything, because it's a solid block still. And then we'll take this shape and pull it out so we can see it good. We're gonna Shift D it. I'm gonna move that up just a hair. Then we're gonna hit S just a hair. A little bit more maybe. And we're just gonna make an inner drawer for the drawer, basically. And we'll use the same process to bool it. So I'll click the, what are we going to want to do here? We're going to want to click the inner one, then Shift, left click the second one, Object, Bool Tool, Difference. Okay, nice and easy. No problem. Okay, and we have our cash drawer now. We're going to have to make a few different things up here. We need a keyboard shape. So let's just move this over here. And then we're going to need a screen shape behind it. I don't know exactly how we're going to get there, but let's figure it out together. Let's do some shape changing again. And I just like to use my imagination for a lot of this stuff. Like, the most tragic things in games is just seeing things reproduce perfectly, exactly every time. Giving your stuff your own look is going to give your game a better feel, in my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. If you want to do something different, you go ahead. But so I'm going to make a keyboard here. I think it would be a little different than a computer keyboard in the sense that the buttons would not be staggered. They'd be just a square. So let's just Shift D that. Something like this for the keys. We've got a couple different choices, but let's Shift D this, move it up. But we'll take this shape out of that shape the same way we do our other bools. Okay, nice and easy. Move this one down into place like that. Shrink it down. Oops, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Shrink it down just a hair. It has a little tiny gap around the keys. Alright, There's a few different ways we could do this. We could shrink this till it's an individual key, then attach them into a row and make every single key. It's going to be a little long and painful that way. We're just going to adjust this just a little bit. There we go. It's just an even gap now. Or we could do this. We can go into edit mode by hitting tab, and then we'll hit Control R. And we'll break up our buttons like this, and when we're happy with the size one way, we will right click to let it center itself, click off of it, hit Shift R, or sorry, Control R again. Sorry, it was Control R. And again, when you're happy with the button size, right click to let it auto center. So now those should be perfectly symmetrical. Okay? If you want to give your buttons a little better of a look, what we could do is you could grab all the top faces and we could just shrink them a little bit basically. And we can hit Control left click, Shift left click, Control left click, and we can just grab them all that way. Okay. And we can try to hit S now. And it's just going to taper them and lean them a little bit towards the middle, which might give your keys a better look. Up to you. Or we can Control B them. And just going to give it a little bit of a gap in between the keys. Now if we take that and we do, where is it? What do I want? Stand faces, I suppose. And we just grab in between the edges, we might be able to lower those or something like that. I think this is going to be a good enough look for my keys for what I'm trying to do. Maybe you want to do a little different. You do you. Okay? So I'll probably just grab this now. Actually, I don't know if I like that. Let's go back and undo it. Maybe there's a better way to do that. Let's make the keys a little nicer, I think. There, I just have those, eh? Oops. Yeah. So, undo, undo. You don't have to, but I'm going to try something else. I think I got a better way to do this. I might be too late, and I might not be able to go back far enough, but we'll see. If not, I'll show you in the second model. But we'll see. Yeah, it looks like that stopped me there. Okay, well this is good enough for this model. Sorry about the delay. So we'll just grab that, we'll attach it to that, Control J. You can leave that loose on your desk or you make it for it moves around. It's up to you. Back here, we're going to do a screen, so probably something like this. Okay, obviously it's a little out of shape, so let's shape it a little better. Probably thinner. And you're going to have to use your widths for this part and decide what you want yours to look like. I think we will grab this face, just bring it back like that, for it's a little more lean towards us. Actually, let's go back and undo that. And copy the shape before we do change it from an actual square. Shift D. Okay. And we're going to S that one and move it forward for now. And if we still want to grab that edge there, we can. Like that. We'll move it back a little bit for it's that look that we wanted, but we got our flat edge here. And then we will Shift D this, and then we'll minus that from that face. Okay. And we'll make this one thinner. And then we'll bump it in a little bit. And if you want to set it back on a little bit of an angle for you can see the screen a little bit better, go ahead. So again, pretty simple. This is our first one. We use our colors to define the keyboard a little more on that one because the way we did it, but that's fine. Look pretty good in game. So let's maybe just attach everything. So just left click and then shift left click the rest of the pieces. Clicking the outer box of that last. Okay. There's our first version. And yeah, that's fine. Let's do a different version real quick. Shift A. Go and make a cube. Okay. How are we going to do this? Okay, let's do Shift R. Oh no, we got to be in edit mode. Shift R. Something like that. And I'll move it back a bit. And then I'll do Shift R again. And I'm just going to move it. Trying to think of where I want this one. There, I think. Alright, now I'm going to grab this face. Actually, let's shrink it a little bit first. We're going to go into this mode and we'll shrink it. And when we take this edge up, should bring that up like that. Okay, I think that's about right. Just looking towards, it's pretty much like a cash register there. And maybe we will make a second shape. Shrink that down a little bit this way, a little bit this way. Bring that up, something like this. I'm going to bump it in a little further, obviously. And go into edit mode and grab this face up here. Try to make it a little more similar to the other shape. I'll try again a little more. Okay, something like that, and then I'm going to Shift D it, and then I'm going to minus that shape from this, and then I'm going to bump that one back until it's just inset just a little bit. So we got a cool look to our screen. Okay. Now we need to make a cache drawer, so I'm going to have to make a new shape. Shift A. I'll make another cube. I'll shrink it down a little bit the one way. You can decide if you want it to be at the top or the very bottom. I think the very bottom makes a bit more sense. You can do 2 rows of cache drawers if you want. But we're going to make this one look like it's a touch screen. I'll do two drawers like that. Maybe there's a reason they got 2 drawers. I don't know. So, we'll take both of these and we will Shift D them. Minus them from this shape. Okay. Now, should be the same size drawer, so let's just do one. Shift D this one, we'll hit S, and we'll just bump it up a little bit, like that. And it should be about the right shape. We'll minus 1 from the other. Okay, cache drawer. If you want to add a little more detail, rows, things like that, you're free to. Shift D, bump that one up into place. Make sure it fits. Okay. And pretty easy. If we want to put a keyboard, maybe I'll show you a quick example of how I would do a different version of the keyboard, but a store keyboard, because obviously they're different than a regular keyboard. Like this, and we will bump the shape down. to you exactly if you want it to be coming out of the screen or just below. Obviously wrong shape. Pop that baby up there. Okay, something like this. Maybe make sure it's a little thinner. Yes. Something like that. And then what I would do is Shift D. Okay. And we'll make this a bit taller and really thin. Okay. And then what this is going to be is the gap between your keys. So then you just need to figure out the right depth, the right width that you want the gap to be. You can angle it as top or bottom if you want it to be tapered on an angle. And then just Shift D. Decide on your key size. And you can use math to match it on the other side. So go here, and we go Shift D, and then just add a minus up here. Oops. Okay, that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to guess those. Something like that. Shift D. Again. Okay. Then Shift D, and we're gonna have to change this one a little bit. We're gonna go. Now we're going to do it this way. And like that. It could be a little smaller if you want, but you get the idea. And Shift D. And we'll just work all our keys out that way. Shift D. Try to make them as even as possible. Shift D. There's a lot of pieces. I don't know if this is going to work. It might be too many. Sometimes you try to do too many booleans on one piece. It's just too many. It wrecks it, and it won't work. But we'll see. We'll try it. Something like that. That's pretty even. Shift D. Again, I don't know if this is going to work. It's looking like it's way too many, but we'll see. But maybe stick to the other way if it doesn't. That's what I would suggest. Yeah, something ain't right here. It's not even somewhere. Anyways, I'll just give you an example. I won't make this take too much longer, so let's just go. And it's going to be a little uneven. I get that, but I'm just giving you guys an example. So you'd have to mess with it a bit to make it all perfectly even. If you did it in the middle without moving it, you could actually use the math of the middle to do side to side to make sure it was perfectly symmetrical. That's probably what I would do. If I had to redo it, that's fine. Oh, it actually worked. There you go. And then we have a pretty neat little keyboard. Obviously the buttons are a little more refined so you can see them a little bit better. Alright, so maybe grab that one, that one, that one, that one, and we'll attach it to this. Control J. Head up to the painting menu. And we'll quickly paint this up. I would probably do new, make this like an off yellow like that sign. Then it doesn't really matter on the color scheme. It's just a matter of giving each thing their own colors so you can color them when you're in your game. So just gonna do just some different things to show that they're colored on their own, basically. That one we'll do green as well. Oops. Okay. And that's up to you if you want to do your drawers with an extra color scheme. It doesn't really matter. If you're worried about texturing, you can subdivide everything, and if you're really worried about it, we could probably get rid of these lines. It may have an effect, so I'd probably leave them. But you could if you really needed to, I guess. I think it looks pretty good. I hope you do too. Obviously, you can shrink and grow to change the size with S. Just make it around the same size as this one. Quickly color this one. We'll get out of here. So same thing. Color. Just make an old like Commodore kind of color where it's just a faded kind of yellowy. Just for now. Oh, it didn't color the whole thing. There we go. This where it's all the same color. Okay, and ooh, did I attach those? Yeah. I don't know if I just can't see I'm highlighting it. There we go. New. Just make it green for now. Just so we can see it. And maybe we'll do our keys a separate color. If you want, you can do top your keys a different color, but I'm just going to do the whole thing a different color. And we'll just make them black right for now, just for we can see that they're definitely a different color. Yeah, it doesn't have the best texture on it, but I'd probably go redo something the keys like this one over here. Looks a little bit better. But anyways, there's some easy keyboards, cash registers for your games. If you want something more oldie style or something more specific, let me know and I'll try to make that. But I just figured I'd make these because I needed to make them for something in a game. So thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, and we'll be back next time to make something cool, hopefully. Bye bye.